I was so disappointed with Lilo and Stitch live action. I really was, and it wasn't even a matter of like I had huge expectations. I really didn't. But even with like the minimal expectations that I gave them, I was still disappointed somehow. I really was, because I've not heard anything about this movie. I tried my hardest to stay away from spoilers, like story spoilers, like animated spoilers, like like the way everything looks spoilers. And I'll say this: it was a bad movie. It was a bad movie, and it wasn't even a matter of like, oh, it's a bad movie because I'm comparing it to the first movie, like the animated version. No, overall, as a movie on its own, it really doesn't make any sense, if that makes sense. Because like, I'm gonna try to not compare it for this first part, just to like prove that it's not a good movie. But like, to start off with, like Stitch, the character overall, like on his own, I don't. There's not really a reason moment where you see him realize, oh, I have to be good because of this and this and this. Like, yeah, he realizes that, but like, there's no reason for him to realize that. You know what I mean? There wasn't really anything pushing him to be a better character, like character development. There really wasn't that. Same with Lilo. Lilo was really bratty at the beginning, and she was like just doing like not bad things, but bratty things. You know what I mean? Where she would like be sneaking around. She'd be like for example, like she let out all these chickens because she wants them to be free or whatever, which is obviously bad because it's not even her chickens, it's like her neighbor's chickens or whatever. And then like she does so many bratty things, and there's never like a moment where it's like oh, I have to be good because this and this and this. Like again, she realizes this, but there's never like a hurrah moment, if that makes sense. And then like what's it called, like Nani as well. Like I don't, from the beginning of the movie to like the end, Nani also didn't really have that much character development. The biggest character development that she had was she realized, oh, I am gonna go to college because I can finally let go. And it's like, that's not really character development. And in comparison to the animated film, they kind of threw away Ohana. Because in the animated film, I know I said I wasn't going to compare, but I am. In the original film, Ohana was really pushed forward. Like, it was like a matter of like, it means family sticks together, this and that, blah, blah, blah. In this movie, they kind of threw that away. They really fucking did. Because, like, a really big scene was whenever Lilo reminded Nani about Ohana. Like, hey, remember Ohana? And she's like, honey, Ohana is sweet and all powerful and this and that, but we live in the real world where Ohana is not always the best way to go. And that just like what? Like I understand, like we're older now, so we should be able to understand more. But like, oh, like that's such a like a huge change to what the original movie was even about, because like even I'm gonna do more comparisons. Even in the animated film, I love the character development that everybody went through, even as a kids movie. Which I mean, like I said, this is a kids movie too, but like it was just done so poorly. It really was, because like Jumba, like in the first animated movie, he was a really like he wasn't completely evil. He was out to get Stitch. That was his main mission. But he did have character development in terms of like, oh, you know what? Maybe having Stitch around isn't a bad idea, or maybe hunting him down isn't what I'm meant to do, or whatever. Like he has that character development, and same with Bleakley. You know what I mean? Or not really, I guess you could say, but like Jamba was a big character development of like going from evil to good. Same with like Stitch going from evil to good, and it showed all that, and it gave everybody a reason to be good. In this one, since they didn't have that big bad like guy from the council or whatever, Jamba had to be the main bad guy, and he had zero character development. All he wanted was to capture Stitch and just be bloodthirsty and conquer everybody. And it's like, bro, like that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted, I guess you could say. And even like I said, as a single movie standing out on its own, like he was a bad guy, I guess you could say, because like yeah, he wanted to take over this and that, but it made no sense because he couldn't like hurt any humans apparently. But he also kind of avoided hurting humans in some type of way. Like it was just weird. It was just really fucking weird, and it just bothers me. It just really bothers me how like there wasn't really any character development. The character development was like, oh, hey, this needs to happen. Okay, let's do it. There was never like a push to like hey, this is the consequences of you not doing this, or hey, this is why you need to do this, or hey, this and that. Like it really bothered me. The story beats was just not the way a good movie should be, if that makes sense. And like I said, overall, the movie didn't really make that much sense, I guess you could say. And I just didn't like it. I genuinely didn't like it. Like, I'm really sad that most kids are gonna have this memory of Lilo and Stitch instead of the animated one, because the animated one was so much better in so many ways. And it could be nostalgia. It really could be. But like watching back the animated version, no, it is 100% better. So like if anything, I would have to give this movie a like 45, like a 40. I would give it a 40, 100%, because I just don't like it. I really don't like it, and I really tried it. But there's so many like important details they miss, and there's so many important times where like they should have done like the animated way, but they just completely threw that out and decided to go a different way. And I hate it. I really didn't like it. But whatever. I guess you could say. I would say if you really are interested, watch it when it comes to streaming, because movie wise, it just wasn't worth it. To me, it wasn't as worth it. But yeah, I mean, take care.